Good morning, ladies and gents, and thanks for joining us on the AM News. And President Bola Ahmed Tinubu says the recent approval of gratuity for civil servants and other ongoing social protection schemes are a clear demonstration of the federal government's commitment to workers' welfare. Now, this was part of the presidential speech at the 2026 Workers' Day celebration delivered by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. Joseph Otsen reports.
From every sector of development, these workers converge to celebrate the hard work they put through for the progress of the country.
As these workers march in solidarity, they believe they have passed a clear message. Apart from the physical security, they want social protection.
The nation cannot function and an economy cannot grow when its people are under constant threat. It is truly absurd to talk about economic growth without resolving security challenges.
We must act decisively to revive domestic refining capacity, ensure fair access to crude for local processors.
The federal government says it is not alien to the needs of the people. Its national policing system, salary increment for workers and pensioners, release of over 700 billion naira for the payment of outstanding pension arrears and housing loan for workers, among other social protection schemes, are all efforts to address the workers' needs.
We understand that decent work also means dignity after service. That is why, through targeted interventions in agriculture, small and medium enterprises, infrastructure development, and skills acquisition, we are laying a solid foundation for inclusive growth.
Beyond wages, we are investing in job creation initiatives that empower our youth, strengthen industries, and expand opportunities.
Today, we address you as traders, as factory workers, as technocrats, who are the engine of Nigeria.
There is a consensus here that decent work is not a favor, it is a right. And it is time to move from minimum wage to a living wage for the workforce to continue steering economic growth. In Abuja, Joseph Otsen, NTA News.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will today depart Abuja May 2nd for visits to France, Kenya and Rwanda. His first stop will be in France, then to Nairobi, where he will co-chair the Africa-France Summit with President Emmanuel Macron and President William Ruto, scheduled to begin on May 11th in Nairobi, Kenya. In a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, stated that the summit will focus on energy transition, green industrialization, digital transformation, restructuring of the global financing architecture, and climate action. President Tinubu's participation will underscore Nigeria's commitment to strengthening strategic partnerships with African nations and the French Republic. At the end of this Kenyan summit, President Tinubu will depart for Kigali, Rwanda, to attend the annual Africa CEO Forum between May 14th and 15th. At both summits, President Tinubu will deliver statements highlighting his administration's ongoing reforms to reposition Nigeria as a prime destination for investment and growth. President Tinubu will be accompanied on the trip by some ministers and senior aides. And the Defense Headquarters has commenced investigation into an incident involving personnel of the Guards Brigade, resulting in the killing of a corps member during a crossfire with armed robbers in Abuja. Responding to narratives emanating from the family of the deceased, the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Michael Onoja, expressed condolences and assured that any personnel found culpable will be held accountable and prosecuted in accordance with the law.
Basically, we can see that there is a gap in both narratives. While the soldiers believed that they were chasing an armed robber and there was a crossfire, the family is saying that that is not true. We are currently engaging with the family. On our part, we intend to conduct some internal verifications to see within those gaps which one is the most likely that occurred. And I can assure you that whoever is found to have been culpable, acted beyond his mandate, will be held accountable, and at the appropriate time will convey it to the Nigerian public.
The Defense Headquarters also notes that within the past month, 216 terrorists have been neutralized, 284 criminal suspects apprehended, and 188 kidnapped victims rescued. Similarly, cache of arms were recovered, while 2 illegal refining sites were dismantled. Meanwhile, as global power dynamics shift and security threats evolve, experts say adaptive leadership is now critical to safeguarding Nigeria and Africa's future. This formed the focus of a high-level workshop organized by the Nigerian Army Resource Center in collaboration with King's College London. And this became imperative in view of the evolving nature of Nigeria's security challenges, which requires leadership that is flexible, innovative, and responsive.
This program to be able to equip our strategic leaders, empower them, not only to be able to address the challenges of today, but position them to be able to envision and address the challenges of tomorrow.
Essentially, they were taught adaptive leadership skills to exercise in line with the shifting global norms. My expectation is that when they go back to the field, they will impute what they have learned in policy formulation, in planning and execution of strategy in the field.
We are living in a tumultuous world. Chaos ensues across the globe. And what is important is to work with the Nigerian army in this context, to know how together we can respond to the kind of crises that increasingly we are seeing.
It is expected to inform policy directions and strengthen leadership capacity. And the Nigerian Air Force, under the air component of Operation Hadinkai, has intensified the tempo of its air campaign in the northeast, unleashing sustained and aggressive precision strikes that are systematically dismantling terrorist networks across Sambisa and the Tambons. A statement by the Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Ehimen Ejodame, indicates that acting on credible intelligence, NAV aircraft struck decisively at insurgents' enclaves, obliterating hideouts, crippling logistics hubs, and eliminating scores of fighters in coordinated attack runs. On 30th April 2026, air assets executed a high-impact air interdiction mission at Alafa in the Sambisa axis, where confirmed terrorist infrastructure and supply nodes were swiftly engaged and destroyed in successive strikes. Sustaining the momentum, NAV forces followed up on May 1st, 2026 with another decisive assault on terrorist positions at Metele in the Tambons. The Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Sunday Aneke, commended the professionalism and combat effectiveness of NAV personnel, reaffirming the service's unyielding resolve to dominate the battle space. And that's it on the AM News. We'll rejoin